Cheers. Yum. It's another amazing review of Season 5, Episode 9.
Episode 9.
Episode 9.
Yes, you got it right.
Wow.
2 more after this one.
2 more.
Gord, Wayne,
Yeah.
Amazing Race Canada. We're both full because we
We had lunch first.
had lunch first.
Yeah.
Usually have lunch after, but due to circumstance beyond our control, we had to have lunch
We had to
first.
flip it around. So if he falls asleep during during the film, we'll just nudge him a little bit. He'll be good.
Lunch.
Well, it's probably going to be me.
Anyway,
Everybody out of Panama.
bye Panama. Nice leg. See you later. Off to Regina,
Regina.
Saskatchewan.
There you go. Nice place to go.
Regina's okay. Panama's probably more fun, but Regina's nice.
I would think so.
Yeah. But, you know.
Given a choice between, a weekend in Panama or a weekend in Regina.
Panama.
There you go.
It's good.
It sounds like they got a choice.
It's got a canal. But they go to Regina. They've had the season 1 had a great leg in Regina, where Joanne told Holly and Brett to fuck off, which is I really enjoy it. I'm not bleeping that up. They did so. So they had that drama. That had
So you had
live
to
up
go
to
back.
that.
Yeah, you had to go back.
They had to live up to that episode.
Yeah.
They had all the lentils as well. So they show up in Regina and they have to
You have to do the BMO Make-A-Wish commercial.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they go to the school, so the kids get food, and the kids get orange
So
juice.
they have to crush a whole pile of oranges, fill a pitcher up to the red line, which I think was Corey Devana that just barely hit that red line,
And then serve the kids.
and then serve it to the kids.
I didn't know Ivana was a teacher. I learned that new about her, so she's a teacher. So cool. So your wife's a teacher, so we like Ivana more because she can beat the crap out of us, and she's a teacher.
What does she teach?
How to beat the crap
That's
out of
what
us.
I'm saying, right? So, anyway,
Obviously works with kids.
yeah,
So
they'll work with kids. Everybody did well. It's
hard
kind of an
test.
easy test.
Yeah,
It's basically promo the Make-A-Wish thing.
which is nice. Make a wish.
It is. It is a good thing.
What would we wish?
Right now, more beer, but we're good.
Yeah, we
We need to think it through to actually have something nice.
better access to beer for the rest of the country. Even better access to beer? No. What would we? Yeah. Okay, we'll move on.
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Get to the farm, they have to do the detour.
Detour, which is
One side is auctioning.
Auctioning.
You have to auction a horse, get it up to $6,000.
yeah, and the other side is load some canola.
Yeah.
Not sure which one we would have taken. Yeah.
You know what?
You're good at yapping, so that might have been good
yapping
for
is-
us.
And
And
watching the auctioneering side task, it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be.
Based on how fast the Giver Boys got through it, I don't think it was as hard as you thought it was.
No.
Make it go fast. 3,000, 4,000, 5,000.
You didn't have to talk fast. You didn't have to do the usual patter. You had to remember a little bit about the horse. Remember a paragraph on this horse. Repeat that, and then everything else is just pointing and saying what people get,
And the
and not going backwards.
the canola thing was just move the canola thing over, load it up, try to turn it on, and shift it up. I mean, a lot of teams had trouble. Where is the switch to turn it on? And
How
just
to
have to
turn it
go look for
on? How to move the machine? Yeah, okay.
You've been in a farm.
I work farms.
Yeah.
There's a switch.
He's done everything.
There's a cable. It goes to the switch. Follow the cable. There's a motor, cable, switch. It's pretty simple.
The interesting thing about this task wasn't really about the task, is Karen and Bert left the BMO task last. However,
And they had a speed bump.
and they had a speed bump coming up, so they went through the back roads, which tells me these guys know the prairies. If you grew up in the prairies, you know
If
there's
there's a
always
farm,
a
there's going to be another road.
back way to get to the farm through the gravel, and they left last, and they got
Came
their
in, they got their
second.
second. So
Way ahead of the others. Good for them.
Kenneth and Ryan decided they're going to do the auctioning,
Yep.
and Corey Devana also did the auctioning. Everybody else went to move the canola. Pretty basic.
And Karen and Bert have to do a speed bump, which
Have to do
is
a speed bump.
get all the manure out of the
Clean a
horse's
stall, and then
go back.
refill with hay.
I mean, this was okay, but it was.
It was just a time task. It just take up time.
Well, we've already seen someone deal with a horse. We did the RCMP test where they cleaned the horse's butt. And this is just seemed to be an extended version of it.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's fit well with where they were, but it was very similar to that task.
It was almost repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clean up.
Clean up.
Clean up after the horse.
After
Same
the
thing
horse.
as the other
Exactly.
task. So we're
So
getting
it
a little
wasn't-
repetitive here.
A little bit.
Kind of like us.
It's kind of like us.
Sometimes.
It's kind of like us.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's kind of like just drinking beer. So they
We
get
used to
that
say
done
bad
pretty
jokes
quick.
all the time.
You do?
No, not all the time. But if you watch all our videos one after the other, we probably do.
You should do that. Do
Yeah.
a binge watching
Exactly.
of Gord and Wayne.
Binge watch. It'd be
I would
better than
not-
Netflix.
I would not recommend binge watch Gord and Wayne unless we're doing a real TV show that we go travel the world with Gord and Wayne. Or
That would be okay.
beer drinking around the world with Gord and Wayne. If you want any pictures, we can send it to you.
Beer pubs in Scotland with Gord and Wayne.
Beer
Could be
pubs
good for
around the world with Gord and Wayne. We
We'll
can
start small.
So here we are pitching TV shows of Gord and Wayne.
Where were we?
Where
Right,
are
so
we?
Karen and Bert finish the speed bump. No problem. Everybody goes on to the tasks.
So the giver guys get the task done first, and they whip out, and everybody knows that the W
Sam
turn
and Paul, of
coming.
course, are starting to stress because they see them leave.
They know they're going to U-turn them,
Yeah.
And-
W-turn is coming up.
so they have to go to the Dog River Hotel, which is from
Famous for corner gas.
Corner Gas.
Yeah. Great Canadian series. Binge watch that.
Yeah, binge watch that. It's a good show. And this is the W turn, of course. The giver guys, they've been talking about this all episode. U-turn Sam and Paul. That makes sense. I would have done
It
that.
does.
I mean, I would if I'd gotten there before them. I would have U-turned them. I would pick a tough team and U-turn them.
They are the two, going out in the final five. They're currently the two strongest teams.
That's exact because
You pretty much have to U-turn the other strong team.
Yep.
If you let them go, that's just a bad idea.
So then Corey and Ivana get done. Adam and Andrea get done. Karen and Bert get done. Sam and Paul, of course, get done. Sam and Paul show up and go like, "Oh, we're U-turn," and pretty much turn around.
They race back, go to the other side
then-
of the task.
Ivana and Corey show up and they're like, "We have to U-turn someone. Who's the threat behind us?" It's Adam and Andrea,
Adam
which
and
is
Andrea.
also a good move.
It is.
I would have done the same thing. Who's the strongest team behind me? Those guys.
Yeah, Karen and Bert are not seen as a threat.
No.
They've moved along throughout the season. Nobody sees them as a threat. They keep coming up at the end.
And
They're
they-
bringing up the back of the
I
pack.
think everybody likes them. I mean, there's a lot
Everybody
of teams
likes them. They're really nice. And
friendly, but
They are. And, I think they always have a good attitude.
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is how you get through the race. You don't want to be seen as too much of a threat. So when a U-turn comes up, they go like, "Oh, I'm going to U-turn Gord and Wayne because those guys are scary." It's like, "Oh, those guys are old.
there you go.
I'm not going to U-turn them. I'll U-turn this really young team."
That's the way to do it.
Like Karen and Bert.
Yeah.
If they were in our season, they were the young team.
They'd have been the young team.
But in this season, Karen at 31 and Bert at 36
They're
are
the
the
oldest now.
oldest team. They've been the oldest team since Shabir
Yeah.
and Zed left,
Yeah.
which I don't want to talk about this anymore.
It's a whole
Manuel's
demographic
casting.
argument. Let's not even go there.
After the Giver Boys U-turn, Sam and Paul, they have another task. This
They
is
have to go.
another commercial. This is the second commercial.
It's a soup commercial.
It's a soup commercial. Campbell Chucky Soup was one of the sponsors, or is one of the sponsors, so we're expecting some sort of task.
Yeah.
So they have to build something with soup, which is interesting.
Like a maple leaf out of soup cans.
Which is interesting, but it didn't seem as tough as the Mentos one.
The Mentos one was
The one
hard.
in Paris. That
Yeah.
was pretty a really great use of a sponsor,
Yeah.
which was really hard task.
Yeah.
This was like sort of hard,
Kind of
but
a balancing and make sure that your labels are upright,
maybe
all facing the correct
it
direction.
was okay, I guess. I mean, teams
You run the risk
struggle
when you're
a
doing
bit.
that. I mean, if you were a stock boy at any point, something I've never done, there you go. Stacking cans is not that difficult.
See, we have all this experience that we could use on the race. This is why they don't want us on the race.
That's right.
Because it's like, oh, I've done that. Oh, I've done
We've
that.
done too much
Oh, I've
stuff.
done that. I've done that. I've done. And we'd be like, well, what haven't you done? Well,
Brain surgery. Have you ever done that?
I can't remember.
There you go.
I think I did it myself.
We're
but
gonna
I can't
go
remember.
with no. There's something we haven't done, but they don't tend to let you do that task.
No, I don't see that task in any race. Please perform brain surgery on this poor
On your
person.
partner.
Ooh, that's interesting. It's one of those things that's a roadblock, but you're not sure who's going to do it. It's like one of those parachuting roadblocks.
Yeah.
You think you're jumping out of the plane, but you're actually your partner has to jump
Your
out of the
partner
plane.
has to jump
So
out,
it's a
yeah.
brain surgery task. you think you're actually performing brain surgery on your partner, but
It's your partner performing it on you.
well, your hands are probably a little more steady than I am because you're
Yeah, a little bit. I'll have a drink before, it'll be fine.
drink or two. Yeah. 3 teams didn't seem to have a lot of trouble with this task. They
No.
seemed to stack it, but the last 2 teams, Corey and Ivana and Adam and Andrea, seemed to knock things down. I mean, Corey and Ivana had one of those cans upside down.
Yeah.
I think you could probably do that. Just
Well,
sort
if
of
you
knock
had
it up.
somebody holding it,
Yeah, you might be able to do
you
that.
know, somebody holding it on one side and then knock it over the other.
But Corey just
Yeah.
knocked it over.
He just pushed the whole thing over.
Ah.
Seriously, I did it. And then Adam had the same thing. Every time he'd set a can down, somehow he'd nudge something and another can would go. And the whole thing would start
I
to
guess it was one of those tasks where you just had to find the right. You had to be fast, but not too
go.
fast.
And you know you're the last two sitting there. And it's
Yeah.
like, you know, you start to panic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was the super fan task. This
This
is
was
where
a
the
super-
super fan was giving out the clue.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
Trip to Moose Jaw.
There you go.
Moose Jaw's nice.
There
I've
you
been there. I've been in I was actually the Writer Festival is right by that park, so I knew exactly where it was.
They never used the tunnels.
They never use the tunnels. Yes,
Yeah.
some great tunnels in Moose Jaw, and opportunity wasted. You know.
Next time.
Next time,
Yeah.
look it up if you're
You have to find
wondering what you're
Al
talking about.
Capone's,
Al Capone's
safe.
Al Capone, yeah, Geraldo was there with Al Capone's safe in Moose Jaw, and Amazing Race missed that. It's a key part of what Moose Jaw is, the tunnels, and I think if you're coming there,
Something
you don't
to
use
do.
it, maybe
There
next time.
There are some other things that Moose Jaw is, known for, but
Well, they have hot springs because of the tunnels.
Well,
Anyway.
because of the tunnels.
But they have to do this Campbell's Soup test because Campbell's Soup is one of their sponsors, so
Right now, they get the next clue. They're heading off to do the roadblock.
yeah.
So the roadblock is basically find the queen. Who's the who's going to be the queen or whatever, and finding a queen.
Oh, hell, the Queen.
There you
Queen
go.
Gord.
I prefer to be king, but there are no king bees.
Nope.
Queen bee, find the largest bee in the hive, and you get yourself all suited up and pull out each of these little honey things and look at the bees and try and figure. Realistically, it's kind of luck of the draw.
I think it was very lucky.
Because if you pulled the right one first,
Which Sam and Paul seem to get really fast.
Yeah.
Thinking, seeing you in one of those beekeeper outfits,
I don't think you'd have one my size.
it'd be pretty scary because you're a big guy. It's like,
You look like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Or Baymax.
more of a Baymax thing.
Yeah.
The bees would be afraid of you.
Sam and Paul, team number 1.
Which was good because you're U-turned and you're team number 1, so it shows that you are a
They're
tough team.
Very tough team.
And lucky.
They're putting a target on themselves.
It's too late now because there's no U-turns anymore.
There's no U-turns, but they're still putting targets on themselves, and there's only 2 episodes left.
So
They pretty much have to really screw up.
I'm guessing Sam and Paul will be in the top 3.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking.
And the Giver guys
Yeah.
are coming
Giver guys
second.
keep coming in second.
They're a little
right behind them.
disappointed because
Well,
their ploy to return someone did not work.
But when they're disappointed, they get quieter. They get a little more personality. I see a little more of who they are,
yes.
as opposed to the forced personality that
There was
had.
there was still a bit of that during this episode. A lot of force, not just from them, from other teams.
Yeah, other teams.
Again, my thing is yelling as personality is not personality.
No,
If you keep yelling all that time,
it gets tiring.
it's not.
I mean, it's tiring for them too. It's gonna be tiring.
But all the other teams, a lot of them are
They're all
doing similar
doing it.
things.
Yep.
And then Karen and Bert, pretty much because they took the shortcut to the back roads, they stayed in the middle and they came in third,
Came in third.
which was their best showing.
Mm-hmm.
And other teams didn't U-turn them, so
Came down at the beehive to Corey and Ivana, and basically Ivana or Andrea picking the bee. And we thought, at one point there, it looked like Andrea had it. She did not. Then Ivana found it. They're out ahead. They're team number 4, Adam and Andrea. Last team to arrive.
And of course, they are eliminated.
They are.
So
And it's unfortunate. I mean, it was nice to see a brother and sister. They were getting along so well. I wish my kids got along so well.
the only
I know.
thing I would be sad to see go at this point in the last few legs would be Karen and Bert.
It's because they have our spot. They're supposed to win, okay? Karen and
so
Bert, You've taken our spot. You need to win.
No. I think Karen and Bert, if they don't win, they're smart and they go like, well, we cannot. We'll take their spot this season, but the first team from Edmonton to win
Should be us.
exactly.
I'm okay with that.
Gord and Wayne
we could live with that.
can be the first team to. I know you want to cheers. Let me finish my sentence.
Now you can talk for hours.
It's just surprising that I'm the talkative guy today. Because
That's why I had lunch.
You had lunch. He's like, I need to sleep. Please let me sleep. You can't sleep. Your kids are just waking up right now.
Maybe.
So yeah, next episode they go to Sault Ste. Marie, which almost like going to Sudbury, but not quite.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. So we'll see 2 more legs, and yeah. Okay, cheers now.
Season 5, episode 9 with Gord and Wayne.
See you next week.